patients. Of course, we wish that nobody will be a potential. As we draw the awareness, we hope that everybody will be very active and proactive in terms of checking your breast cancer status, including men. My name is Ania Fompofu. You're welcome to Good Afternoon Ghana. We'll have quite a number of issues to deal with this afternoon. On the table, we will be going into the issue of the OSP. Yesterday, he had the opportunity to address the public using about some good 2 hours, to address issues and also answer certain questions. What is the OSP up to as far as the prosecution of the former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is concerned? We'll bring you the details of what he said yesterday. And also we'll bring you some interviews, exclusives with anti-corruption, anti-grafts personalities about Ghana's attempt or, work and progress we've made so far as far as fighting corruption is concerned. We'll speak with Edem Senanu and others on this issue. We'll also get into Tema Metropolis, some demolishing activities going on there. What are we doing in terms of development? We'll speak with the TMA boss to find out more from the authorities of the area. Metro TV is marking Pink Festival, and as I earlier said, it is about knowing your breast cancer status. So we are the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. The venue is there. If you want to do a breast cancer screening and hear some more education, please dash by the Accra Central AMA premises, and you'll find us set up there, and you'll have the opportunity to do also some screening there. The team will come through and give you some snippets of exactly what's going on in the Accra Central area. Harriet sits with me. Harry, a good work done this month in terms of breast cancer awareness.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyways, let's take a look at the headlines for the news updates today. Minister of Health Kwabena Minta Kando and his predecessor, Dr. Bernardo Koboy, disagree over whether a contractor under the $100 million National E-Health project was overpaid or simply given an advance after both men offered conflicting interpretations of the same financial records. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines says a modern, competitive and predictable legal and regulatory framework is essential if Ghana is to optimally benefit from the mining and mineral resources. Plus, Minority slams NDC MPs for absenteeism highlight how such occurrences can negatively impact the country. There's many more coming up shortly. Now to our first story. The Special Prosecutor Kisi Ejibin has revealed that Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited lacked both the tools and technical competence to execute the audit and revenue assurance services it was contracted to perform for the Ghana Revenue Authority. Addressing the press conference on Thursday, October 30, Mr. Ejibin said investigations by the Office of the Special Prosecutor uncovered glaring statutory breaches, conflicts of interest and unjustified payments surrounding the SML contracts.
The OSP conducted comprehensive interviews of 31 persons of interest in respect of the investigation. The identities of the interviewees are disclosed where necessary. The OSP collaborated with several public institutions, including the Ministry of Finance, Ghana Revenue Authority, National Security Secretariat, Ghana Police Service, National Intelligence Bureau, National Signals Bureau, Financial Intelligence Center, National Petroleum Authority, Petroleum Commission, Public Procurement Authority, and Office of the Registrar of Companies. The OSP also collaborated with several financial institutions. In augmentation of the expertise and skill of the authorized officers of the OSP, the office also relied on expert opinion of persons in the revenue assurance setup in transaction audit, external price verification, measurement audit of downstream petroleum, upstream petroleum audit, and measurement audit in the mineral sector. The OSP investigation establishes the following. 1. There was no genuine need for contracting SML for the obligations it purported to perform. and that the contracts were secured for SML through self-serving official patronage, sponsorship, and promotion based on false and unverified claims. 2. The SML contracts were attended by egregious statutory breaches, as mandatory prior approvals were wantonly disregarded by relevant officials who acted with increased and emboldened impunity. 3. There was no established financial management system of monitoring and verification to ensure that the Republic was obtaining the value for the money it was paying to SML.
Addressing the public pressure regarding the extradition of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, the OSP said his office will not rush the process but allow the laws to work.
Early June, I think it was 10 June, we carried out further searches and seizures at 2 offices of SML, one in Accra in Osu and one in Tema. And there we retrieved computer servers and hard drives that had to be subjected to forensic examination. This work is not done overnight, and it is upon this reason that we informed the Attorney General when we kick-started the extradition process that the dockets had not been bound up yet because we were waiting for something. At the OSP, we do not talk lightly. We knew what we were waiting for, and we have them fully now. We have uncovered all that is contained on the computer servers and the hard drives. And now on Monday, with the gracious assistance of our major foreign partner, we have the validation of the evidence that we had way back in March 2013. So, on 2nd June 2020, we triggered the extradition request because by March, as we said, we had all the evidence we needed. We only needed official validation of them. And that is why we triggered the extradition request on 2nd June 2020 through the Chief of Staff. The past few weeks, we are once again drawing negative flag that we who put him on our list of wanted persons, that the OSP that declared him wanted, that the OSP that declared him a fugitive from justice, that the OSP that went to Interpol in record time of 48 hours and placed him on Interpol's red notice, we were stalling the case and that we were wasting time. But once again, as I said, we knew what we were doing and we knew what we were waiting for.
Office of the Special Prosecutor is set to charge former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and 5 other ex-governments for corruption and corruption-related offences for their role in the SML scandal by the end of November this year. In addressing the media, Special Prosecutor Kissi Ejabin says his office has gathered enough evidence to implicate Ken Ofori-Atta and the former government officials.
The investigation is that the OSP will charge the following persons with various corruption and corruption-related offences before the end of November 2025. 1. Kenneth Nana-Yaw Ofori-Atta, former Minister of Finance. 2. Ernest Akori, Chef de Cabinet to Kenneth Nana-Yaw Ofori-Atta as Minister of Finance. 3. Emmanuel Kofi Nti, former Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. 4. Amishadai Owusu-Amoah, former Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. 5. Isaac Krentzel, former Commissioner of the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority and General Manager of Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. 6. Kwadwo Damoah, former Commissioner of the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority and Member of Parliament for German South constituency. As part of the process, the OSP will seek to recover the financial loss caused to the Republic from the persons listed above. Also, the OSP will recover a total amount of 125 million cedis from SML by way of a disgorgement of unjust enrichment of overpayment, by the return of the benefit of this amount it obtained unfairly at the expense of the Republic. This amount was arrived on two considerations. First, the participation of SML in the public revenue assurance regime was based on largely undeserved automatic payments detached from performance. Second, the figure was adjusted on a quantum meru basis. This is a legal doctrine that developed the English common law as a form of implied contract or quasi-contract to ensure that the person who conferred a benefit on another received compensation, even when no valid contract existed. The courts introduced the doctrine as an equitable remedy to prevent unjust enrichment, recognizing that fairness sometimes required payment even without an enforceable agreement. In the present context, the OSP configured the doctrine in respect of adjusting the fair value of the investments made by SML in pursuance of performing its obligations under the various contracts, even where the contracts were procured unlawfully and even where services were minimally performed or not performed at all.
Now, away from that, the Health Minister, Kwabena Mintah Kando, has revealed that Ghana's health data records have been shut down for the past 2 weeks due to issues regarding the vendor handling the records. He made the comments during an appearance at the Public Accounts Committee on Thursday morning.
The country was virtually begging him and switching the thing on and off because we had no solution. At that point, I had to take a bold and courageous decision to find a solution. And what is the solution? The solution is that the country must own the software. And even if the country was not owning the software, and we had created a middleware, an exchange, where any vendor will plug in, even if any vendor is bluffing, we could have secured our data. We didn't have that. And so, for the past 2 weeks, Mr. Chairman, the whole system has been switched off. And that is why you hear issues of National Health Insurance card were not being verified. Mr. Chairman, you hear issues of we are going back to the paper system and all that. So, Mr. Chairman, what I think is important and Ghanaians must know, and Mr. Chairman, we didn't respond to all these things because we thought that it was not for the ministry or the minister to come and lament. We should have solutions. Mr. Chairman, we had no option than to engage and to have a software that is for the state. So we are working on the software that is for the state, which is now, instead of the LIMS, which is the Light Wave Health Information Management System, we are working on Ghana Health Information Management System that the state will own. Now we have put in place the middleware that even if we are inviting more vendors, they will come and plug into the system and that the data will be lodged into it. Now the second leg of your question about the remainder, the 500, because he has not done the 500, and one of the issues why we are where we are is that the system was monopolized. If there were about 4 or 3 or 2 vendors, maybe if he's maybe squeezing our balls at this point, the others may not. And so going forward, the decision is that the 500 left, we are going to open up. But we have to deal with this emergency situation.
Well, away from that, Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama is expected in Cairo ahead of tomorrow's grand opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, the world's largest archaeological museum overlooking the Giza pyramids. The ceremony, hosted by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, will bring together world leaders, royals, and dignitaries for what's been described as one of the biggest cultural events of the year. Metro News presidential correspondent Shadrach Odamejare is in Cairo with Ghana's president.
Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama is arriving here in Egypt, Cairo, ahead of the grand opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, popularly called the GEM, which is scheduled for tomorrow, November 1, 2025. Now, the ceremony will be held under the patronage of the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and would gather world leaders, that is kings, dignitaries, princes and princesses across the globe. Now, overlooking the Giza pyramid, the GEM is the world's largest archaeological museum, celebrating over 5,000 years of Egyptian civilization. Now, the $1 billion project, which spans 2 decades, or has spanned 2 decades in the making, houses thousands of artifacts, including 4,500 treasures from King Tutankhamun's tomb. But now, President al-Sisi has also hailed the museum as a symbol symbol of Egypt's leadership in global culture. Originally, it was set to open in July 2025. The event was, however, postponed due to regional tensions, but is now expected to be one of the most significant cultural gatherings of the year. The project was made possible through Egypt and Japan cooperation, with Japan providing some 4.2 billion or 84.2 billion yen, that is around $800 million in soft loans via JICA and JBIC, alongside Egyptian and international contributions. Now, Japanese experts also trained hundreds of Egyptians in conservation and museum management. The opening of this gem also comes amid a tourism revival in Egypt, with revenue reaching some $14.4 billion in 2023 and 2024, and some 15 million visitors recorded in the first 9 months of 2025 here in Egypt. But for Ghana, President Mahama's participation underscores Africa's growing voice in global cultural diplomacy, not just economic. And the gem also stands as a testament to shared heritage, blending ancient history, modern innovation, and international collaboration within among Egypt and other countries or sister countries. So it's going to be a massive celebration, not just for Egypt, but for Africa and the world at large. Anyone interested in culture, heritage, and tourism, will be bringing our viewers up to speed and more sight and sound on the Grand Egyptian Museum opening. We will be telling you every detail, from artifacts to representation from countries and food. We'll bring you every detail that matter. My name is Shadrach Odame Ejare. This is the presidential suite, the VIP session of the Cairo International Airport for Metro News.
Well, away from Egypt to Ghana's parliament, the minority has expressed concern over increasing absenteeism among some members of parliament from majority side, emphasizing that its caucus has remained focused and diligent in attending sittings and participating in government business since the House resumed. Let's take a listen.
Parliament is a very important organ of government, of state. And the business of Parliament is to be taken very seriously. Yesterday, the Speaker had cause to point out the disturbing trend or situation of absenteeism in Parliament when the business of Parliament is being conducted. Today, we came to Parliament, and on account, there were only 81 members of Parliament in the chamber, and therefore the Deputy Minority Chief Whip raised the issue of quorum pursuant to Article 102 of our National Constitution. And indeed, the Deputy Chief Whip made the point that we did not have quorum at the time the business of the House had commenced. The Speaker went through the process, and we called this press conference to point out that the Ghanaian people went through a lot to elect us as members of Parliament. So generally speaking, all of us are expected to take our duties as members of Parliament seriously. And secondly, and in particular, for the first time in the fourth Republican dispensation, in the wisdom of the Ghanaian people, they elected a supermajority for this ninth Parliament. The NDC majority, the NDC group in this House, constitute 189 out of the 276 members of Parliament. That is a supermajority, and that is 2/3 of all the members of Parliament, all the 276 members of Parliament. This is unprecedented. It's never happened before in the fourth Republican dispensation. Indeed, it's never even happened in the whole history of our country. And one will expect that out of this 189 of them, even if 99 of them were to stay at home, they will still have the 90 members of Parliament required to form a quorum to do business. And indeed, as I pointed out on the floor of Parliament, they have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to do business. They have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to take decisions. They have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to even take fundamental decisions, which requires 2/3 of all members of Parliament. And as one of them once said, they can run this ninth Parliament without the minority. And therefore, the question that many Ghanaians are asking, why are they not attending to the House? Why are they not taking their business as members of parliament seriously? And why are they not showing up? And why is this majority turning out to be an absentee majority? And this is why we think we should communicate to the Ghanaian people who elected these 189 members of parliament, who gave them the super majority and 2/3, to know that we, the minority in this house, are very prepared, ready, and willing to help them conduct government business. But it will appear that they are not cooperating with the minority to get President Mohammed's business and government business to go through. And when that happens, it's the Ghanaian people who suffer. Today, on the other people, we have a litany of important bills and important items which are required to be considered and taken by the House to get government business to move forward. And yet, we have had to wait to grapple with the issue of COVID.
And the chairperson of Parliament's Education Committee and MP for Akache North, Peter Kwesi Nochukuto, has backed the Education Minister's directive on students cutting their hair in secondary schools. Speaking to Metro News, he explained that the policy is not new, but a reinstated directive, adding that while some may oppose it, it does not deprive any students of the right to education.
Let me say, to begin with, that what the minister said at the 75th anniversary of Maoli School in Ho concerning the haircut is not a new directive. It has been in the system for a very long time. He only reminded the school authorities that they should effectively implement it. From time to time, we need to remind school authorities of some regulations that are in their schools, which they must make sure that students abide by them. So, if the school authorities are just looking on and a number of things are happening, students are keeping bushy hair, I don't think it is good enough. If you go to even our basic schools, what you see over there, should somebody, a girl, bring a haircut or a weave on or any hairstyle to school, the attention of the children will get focused on that hair. They will be looking at that hairstyle of the child and will not concentrate in class. That's one of the issues. Then again, you will realize that all manners of hairstyles will emerge in our schools. And if care is not taken, we will not be able to fight it. So, personally, I support the position of the Ministry of Education on that issue. So, the minister is not bringing any new rule or regulation. It's an existing regulation.
Well, that's it for the news update on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Harriet Adi Ani.
Thank you for the details. So we will meet at the Pink Festival venue at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly pretty shortly.
Oh.
All right. For now, let's continue with the updates of the news. We'll take a breather. When we come back, we'll get into the issues, into details, where the OSP has also held a press conference yesterday. We'll speak with some anti-graft personalities, Edem Senanu, and others will also follow, actually.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model. Securing your safety. Creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Oh, Jose, and I media Samasio. Cannon Pano, Nasana, Mushiana, what de me. A drain I didn't quano, Kingdom Garlic Bitters.
No, more benefit him.
Me benefit wine. Also, what told dear?
Abrewa, the smile, our brand. Mishuve, one antique a crana wabre. No Kingdom Garlic Bitters and any capsules. Nanya, what ya brebia.
Kingdom Garlic Bitters and the capsules.
Assembly,
a devil when I'm when I say, send your name, wife, company, one personal. Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules and tea. Say, see, I'm password.
Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules. A many genius from Debefi, Abrebia. Obebia o de poor hauno. Edro Bakupa, we hear tremendous capsules. Tremendous capsules. Yes, you ma we obesima. Edno you when you be a ton robia. Kingdom Herbal, no challenger.
Watching DSTV means getting the TV you love, but staying connected means getting something extra. Stunning. Extra matches, extra dramas, the best local and the world's biggest. Extra laughter, music, movies, and extra vim.
I love it.
Just stay connected or reconnect and get upgraded to the next higher package at no extra cost. Charlie, we got you. Keep watching. Get more with DSTV.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa, dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be later?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Copy from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Me and you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God apple boom. If you put it at so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Hey. Is that his car?
Ha! Even now, your shadow the way designer.
I use my own mouth to reject him. Oh, this is my mouth. Look at that.
Kwame, my son. Now, tell me the truth. How did this all happen?
Oh, Mommy, a simple direction. Mr. Goodluck no check me well.
Yeah, man. Easy car. Or dial star 712 hash.
The devil is a liar.
He picked his ticket and entered his lucky 5-digit number.
I'm his birthday.
Oh, how romantic.
And he followed the prompt, yes. And then boom, confirmation test.
I'm quick. Pick 5 numbers for me, okay? I'm feeling like 7.
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the
You see how they love you now?
Yo, do you have family payment? Before December, may release a motivational album. Patapa, my super.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the career.
You're welcome back. Let's focus, first of all, on development, where the Tema Municipal Assembly has commenced a demolition exercise to remove unauthorized structures located on or close to government installations in the metropolis, including some offices, schools, and hospitals. Now, this follows an earlier moratorium placed on July 2025 by the Assembly on the issuance of new temporary development permits in the area aimed at curbing the rapid proliferation of illegal structures across Tema. Now, explaining the rationale behind the move, the Metropolitan Chief Executive of Tema, E.B. Bright, said that the operations forms part of government's broader policy to protect state lands. Now, it goes on, state lands installation and designated protected areas by declaring them security zones. According to the Assembly, the exercise will cover the entire metropolis, and some residents also who spoke with Metro News expressed mixed reactions to this exercise. Let's have some of the videos as you're seeing on the screen. Let's take a listen.
Today. TMA, welcome. I want information on this whole building. How do you maintain? Look at it. Today, this is where somebody has decided to repair his truck. Today, somebody is repairing his truck right at the entrance of the school. What is this? Look at what is going on here. Of all the places in this city, you decided to come and put your truck in front of my children's school. Please. You have to take details to the point where you understand that all this hanging, drying line, in fact, you see all this, everything should go. Look at this. You see all this. How can you do this at a school? You see all this, please, everything. I'm even smelling. Come and stand here if you don't smell the gas. Yeah. You see, so let me explain something to you. You cannot leave things at the discretion. If you allow this, then it means that you have to spend resources just monitoring them. And you cannot leave our children and all our security assets to the discretion of anybody. If you leave it to the discretion of anybody, this is what you will get. Now, the broken down cars, please paste each of the A4 size. Paste it on the bonnets of all the cars here. If we come and we meet them here, we'll tow all of them and sell them for spare parts. So paste on all the cars. Look at them. This is what they are doing to our schools. TMA, are you seeing it? Is it okay for your children? Good afternoon, seniors. How are you all doing? Okay. So as part of our mandate, TMA, we have to keep all security zones safe. Now, security zones include schools, hospitals, security installations, government premises and environs. According to the law, there are certain areas which nothing should exactly, those areas you can't touch them at all. Some of those are schools and the rest. Now, when you come to Tema, Republic Road, apart from its significance to us, it is also indicative of all the dangers that we fear where security zones are concerned. This is a school, but we have a drug den. Well, we have 2 drug dens. We also have a short-time hotel. You have cattle rearing, all kinds of things on and around the school. For this reason, we must apply this very strictly. So our first exercise is with Republic Road. So we beg you, we see that there are some of these structures that might be useful to you. We have to inform you respectfully that we cannot house them here. You have to keep the school sacred so that we can also do our jobs. So respectfully, I leave this with you as elders of our streets. I know that you might have some here, or you might know who does. And so we'll assume that our communication has gone down well in the interest of us.
All right, you're welcome back to the program. It's Good Afternoon, Ghana. You're still watching. Those were excerpts of the work being done or undertaken by the Tema Municipal Assembly. Of course, the Metropolitan Chief Executive of the Tema Metropolitan Assembly is also A.B. Brighty. She is the one leading this campaign. And we're told, producers are telling me she has joined us via phone. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us here on Good Afternoon, Ghana. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Annie, and to all your cherished viewers
Right.
all across the world. We greet you from Tema.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And how are the people of Tema? We've been monitoring you. We've seen that is a no-suit position for you, no resting day for you. How has it been since you took office?
Well, it's been quite interesting, very illuminating. I would say that I've learned so much. I've learned, you know, I'm a better informed citizen, and the more I learn, the more I understand what my responsibility is, and the better equipped I am. So I'm just grateful for the process, really, because a lot of these issues that I'm trying to address here, of course, we look at as regular residents. This is where I live. This is where my family is. You know, everybody in this ecosystem is related to me in one form or the other, but we're not really sure what our place is in that ecosystem and what is possible for us to do, not even our responsibilities as residents. So being in this seat has been a very educating experience, and it continues to be so on a daily basis.
Now, when you took office, you know, regardless the whole political, you know, banter, you still took office. If you can give us what you've been able to ascertain, the workload that you see or you're faced with as far as the development of the Tema metropolis is concerned. I am in that area as well. I'm within the Sakumona area. I can understand the weight of the problem in terms of government lands, in terms of Ramsey sites, in terms of illegal structures, you know, scattered all over the place. What is the quantum of the work you see ahead of you? Describe the situation to us.
So it's both local, national, and international. The Assembly's mandate is informed by the local issues within the metropolis. It's also informed by national concerns and policies. It's also informed by our international obligations and policies. So, for example, the Ramsar issue, as local as it is, has a very international bent. And the mandate and, you know, the addressing of it comes from above the metropolitan level. I'm the local representative of the national level, and so it's my responsibility to house and lead those campaigns. But like I said, that's a national mandate, which we must take local responsibility for. However, there are very basic things like keeping our public spaces safe and clean, and also maintaining the integrity of government services and premises, as well as what we declared as security zones, our schools, hospitals. These are very vital infrastructure, both, you know, in terms of the humans that they house, the kind of populations that they engage, but also in terms of fiscal infrastructure as well. So if you see the state of infrastructure in Tema, you have to question whether, to what extent we're doing on our mandate. We might not have the resources to build new schools all the time, but we can put in the resources to maintain what we have and to protect the integrity both of the structures and of our mandates to educate pupils in a safe environment. Don't forget also the welfare of teachers. So it's for the whole community. Now, these are the issues which fall directly under our local control. Now, the TMA has all the departments and the mandates to carry out these activities. But of course, we know that depending on government's focus, also depending on the will and the vision and resources available, we can concentrate on certain activities and be negligent with others. Luckily for us, the national direction is towards public order and sanitation. And so it gives us a natural support for the Assembly to concentrate on these areas and bring sanity into our space. Unfortunately, Unlike many rural areas which have less encroachment, we are a very urban, we're a metropolis. So we have the challenges that would usually be associated with rural-urban migration, which is that there's the influx of populations that we never planned for and that we have not put in measures to manage. So of course we have an urban housing deficit and all of those, but it doesn't still excuse the fact that we cannot hold certain institutions sacred, like our school. A public school, which is what we're piloting our campaign at, has like I would say 2.5 drug dens, because you have 2 active drug dens, and then you have 1 site for drug use and related activities. We have prostitution activities live and being housed on the premises perimeter, cattle rearing, goats, sheep, everything that are competing with space for the children are actually accompanying them along their learning. We have people sorting out junk right on the premises. It's a very disturbing situation, but what we're doing now is producing children that, are being conditioned to be nuisances. So it's a crisis that we're in. And the assembly is the one with the mandate and all the power to take action. So all I'm doing is encouraging the assembly to say that, look, we might not have paid attention to this over time, but we don't have any excuse today. And unfortunately, we began our local communication and engagements before we began the national or the external one. So many of you are just getting engaged with our campaign, but those areas that are affected, especially the one that we're tackling today, have been engaged over a period of 5 months.
So we don't have, because we've seen videos of persons who acted as though they were not informed. The exercise started so suddenly, we're destroying their properties. Such usual complaints we normally encounter during demolition exercises. I'm not sure how you're dealing with such situations, even though you say you have done quite a number of education.
Yes. So here it is. I'm going to be very frank with you. I'm Ghanaian, you're Ghanaian. We know our people. Let's look. If you go in those areas that we're demolishing, you can see warnings that are dated 5 years back, that are dated 2 years back, that are dated last year, and that are dated 2 months before today. Some of them are even dated 4 months before today. In these same areas, and these are the structures that are being demolished today. But you see, I understand the resistance, or not the resistance, but the shock that this is actually happening. We're not new to the fact that people will go around and put warnings, but there's also always that the Ghanaian mechanism that has been developed over time that says that we'll come and negotiate a bad situation, and you can take something, and turn and forget about us, until you want to buy a new car. Then you come and collect from poor people another round of 200 cedis again. The problem is that if the mayor does not come on the field herself, then you have, that excuse. Oh, your people came and collected money from us, and they promised that we can stay. But over the last 5 months, I've come personally to tell them that nobody is going to take money from you and subvert the justice that must occur here. But somehow they know that your word has never amounted to action. So unfortunately, they probably didn't understand. They've been trying to reach me, and that is what hurts me, that people have lost such respect for our offices and the mandates that we carry in the name of the government, to the point where they think that they can address a compromise straight at me and say, yes, we know it's not good, but please, we are begging you, we want to continue to do this. I will expect that from the minute we start to engage you, you understand that the reason why we're doing this is that it contravenes the law. Why would you willfully want to negotiate the contravention of the law? And this is where then I have a problem. However, today, once we got on the ground, I said to my team, first and foremost, if anybody is making moves to move, assist them, load their transportation for them, help them to dismantle their structures. It is only structures that have nobody attending to them, that are clearly abandoned, that you crush and remove. And this is working. So on that note, I will say that the community is being very cooperative with us. Some people have other ideas. They're saying, despite your several warnings, why did they wait for you to get here anyway? But for me, I say, like I explained earlier, they didn't really know that we were going to do this. They didn't believe that we were going to do this. They believed that there was going to be a compromise. Well, there isn't. But since we've been here today, they've been working with us to clear their belongings. And so I will say that they've been very cooperative. But let me use this opportunity then to say to everybody else that falls within these specific zones, security zones, anywhere else that your container is sited, we're not interested in removing you at this moment. We will have to work with you to regularize your location. However, if you fall within security zones, schools, hospitals, utility corridors, government premises and offices like the assembly and other agencies of the government, then time is up. And so we will continue to press this message on. We hope that the general time we engage a location, we will go through the pains of walking them through it. But it will be done.
I want to believe that about 8 months down the line, since you started, engaging this activity, the people of the metropolis are getting used to it, knowing that in the next minute or day or two, you will be, in their premises or you'll be in their area. Are they getting used to this?
Well, we hope so. So that's five months of engagement. But like I said,
5 months, okay.
Before now, we've only engaged concentratedly on the areas that we were touching. And so, like I said, it's specific. Schools, hospitals, government agencies, and offices. Those people, we hope, have gotten the message. But primarily, Republic Road is where we concentrated very heavily because this is our pilot. However, we're going to intensify our communication and engagement beyond today to make sure that everybody in this zone has gotten the message. And we're grateful for the attention that media such as yourselves are putting on this, so that people understand once they fall within these zones, yes, we're coming for them. And like you say, the hope is that they will actually heed it and actually adopt safer and less painful measures to address their relocation and removal.
It's good you said you're going to, spread out your tentacles. It will go beyond just the security zones, I guess.
Well, eventually. So here it is. There are two things that the assembly must respond to as a matter of urgency. If your own property is under siege, you can write to us. We will have to respond. If your own access to your own property and business is blocked or hampered, we have situations pending where some companies have been refused insurance because of the security risks that have engulfed their properties. So this is, a matter of urgency. Under those situations, we will have to respond. But those are done, just generally. Now we also have locations, like I said, that are security zones. Those are also operating under a matter of urgency. However, there are certain areas on which illegal structures, temporary structures or permanent structures are located, which are not necessarily immediately injurious to the community. So those areas will fall under the ease of time so that we provide substitution and regularization. But right now, we must
but I hope that we're not going to be waiting
on the critical issues first. Yes.
But I hope we're not waiting too long for the situation to get out of hand with regards to the areas that are not immediately injurious to the people.
Well, I hope not. Once we build a culture of responsibility, people should be able to start to comply and cooperate with us. One of the reasons why I believe we haven't had as much support up until now is people are not sure about the sustainability. And so that's another thing that we need to maintain. Well, what happens after you demolish these structures? You have no plan to do anything useful in their place, do you? We need to prove that we do. And that substitution hopefully will get the public more involved in the campaign. And over the ensuing time from now till forever, we hope that we will build the culture of compliance. Sometimes people just don't even know what their responsibilities are or what the rules are. And we also have a responsibility to do that. So we're not promising magic. We started this, we're learning and we're perfecting our systems, and that's a lot of work to do.
Indeed.
But the only thing we can promise you is that we won't relent. However, I can't promise you that every spot in Tema is going to be clear, within the next 2 months. And for us, this campaign is expected to be ongoing for at least 12 months to restore public order. However, the issues or the reasons why we're in this situation in the first place have to be addressed more fundamentally. And it is even as basic as how much we pay our Metro guards who are supposed to support us to enforce this. So, my dear, the conversation is long, it's complicated, but we will keep fighting. I just want to explain that the fight is beyond just this physical removal. The fight is in our processes and our protocols and our capacity to keep the city clean fundamentally.
Maybe eventually, before I let you off, I was just referring to Ghana's first architecture who planned...
Sorry?
The Ghana's first architecture. I'm talking about the person of Theodore S. Clark. As planning the Tema city, making it, the urban area, the port and industrial area. So that plan, I'm sure, is there. Now, if you look at the area like Tema Newtown, first of all, are you looking at the original plan that was put together by Theodore, and or do we have a new plan for it? And what is also the arrangement you have or the plan you have about Tema Newtown?
Well, that's interesting. I'll tell you what. Over the years, we have acted like we just, ripped people from their original land and exiled them. And we haven't even put in the bare bones of the architecture. It's a tall order. What they sacrificed for is this new Tema that we've bastardized to this point, and we're trying to restore it. However, the issue of Tema Newtown is really on another level. The reason why what we're doing now is even easier to implement is that the bare bones of the order were set out in the first place. So what we're doing is reversing the rot. In terms of sticking to the original plan or deviating, it would have to have several layers of compromise and adjustment. Today, there's no space for you to make a new plan in Tema. You will have to still follow the existing because the footprint is very little right now. For Tema Newtown is a constant engagement with chiefs, opinion leaders. I mean, we have a very robust community leadership system in Tema Newtown. And so I think that we need to review all of what the government originally intended with a lot of input from our traditional leadership and stakeholder groups so that we can forge a more sustainable plan. Today in Tema, we have decided not to follow the generic plans of what we're requested to do. We cannot have buildings that do not go up anymore because there's just no space to accommodate them. So I don't know how far the original plans will take us, but I think that they form a very good basis for us to decide the future. However, we need to be more actively involved in the process of planning the Tema of tomorrow, because you see, if we only plan on solutions for today, then we will be, in the next few years, we'll be in worse straits than we are now. We must be providing solutions that can sustain us for the next 100 years, because that's what Nkrumah did And that's how come we're surviving today.
Amy Bright, we'll leave it here. We're grateful for your time this afternoon. I'm sure you also mentioned something, maybe I want you to tell us more about it before you go. That is the financial heaviness of this work that you're embarking on.
Yes, it is, but it is financially taxing, but also because it's concentrated. If we don't achieve the results that we're measuring, then we have a challenge. I'll tell you why we chose Republic School. Apart from the fact that significantly and symbolically, this is the first public school, put here by Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, in the main Tema central Tema area. It is also housing the only tall tree which has survived. Tema gets its name from the tradition of the tall tree, which is what covered this whole area. But today we have just one surviving, and it is housed in the Republic School. So for these reasons, I mean, this is a major tourist opportunity for us. If we have to get the tourist dollars coming into Tema, if we have to reclaim areas of interest and pride and cultural identity for all of us, we must be very deliberate about what we're doing. If we give Tema this facelift it deserves, then it could reach up to its potential as the only port and industrial city of Tema, all in one, and as the city that is right at the center of the world. Also, the other parts of our cultural identity that make us unique. But you see, if people are coming into Tema and the cows are, causing obstructions on the road and accidents and all of that, what kind of business discussions are you inviting people to come and have? I mean, we say we want to revive the industries, and then as you drive into Tema, it is clear that you can't make much business from this environment. So all of these things are engineered to get the economy, back on its feet. Provide secure livelihoods, not people in their small businesses and corrupt people are taking 200 from them to keep them under threats, constant threats. And also to make sure that the industries are able to be housed in a city that is worth its description on paper.
Right. Amy Bright, we're grateful for your time this afternoon. And she is the Chief Executive Officer of the Tema Metropolitan Assembly, speaking to us on updates of how the demolishing exercise going on or ongoing in the Tema Metropolis. It is about the security zones, the schools, the hospitals, all of other areas that you have illegal structures. Expect her and the team, they will be with you pretty shortly and deal with it and keep law and order. We'll be following through with her and also be updating you on all the activities that's ongoing in the Tema Metropolis. Let's move away from Tema and get to Egypt, where His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of Ghana, has arrived in Cairo ahead of tomorrow's grand opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum and the world's largest archaeological museum overlooking the Giza pyramids. Now, the ceremony, hosted by Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, will bring together world leaders, royals, and dignitaries for what's being described as one of the world's biggest culture events of the year. Metro News presidential correspondent Shadrach Odamejari is in Cairo, and he filed this report for us. Okay, we'll bring you some more details from Egypt, Cairo. For now, we'll take a breather. We'll be back shortly.
So congratulations to you and everybody that won on the bonus ticket. Okay, yes, we hope that next year you get on the luckiest again and win bigger than you won this time. Okay, so congratulations. Yes. Wow. From the luckiest to you as one of the winners on this ticket. So congratulations.
Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. The luckiest. Luck is everywhere for everyone, yeah. Money we define every day.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. This is a people's game. They will be bubbling about this one for weeks and months to come. Let's go!
It's on SuperSport all season long. Pay your subscription today. Dial *759#. Available on DSTV and GoTV.
Victory, celebration, legacy. It's 40 years of Jesus is our victory. Join Victory Bible Church International for the Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. A power-packed celebration marking 40 glorious years of God's faith and God's grace. It all begins on Saturday, 12th October with the Mega Praise and Worship Night, a night of pure gratitude and praise. Then get ready for the Wonder Walk on October 25th, a citywide walk of testimony and victory. From October 27th to the 30th of October, the Wonderful Jesus Conference continues live at the VBCI Dominion Sanctuary, Awoshi Junction. Expect nothing but divine encounters, miracles, and transformation. On October 31st, meet us at the Independence Square for a nationwide gathering of worship, power, and the Word. Then on November 1st, join the outreach program at Mancho Agbona. Then let's touch lives and share the love of Jesus Christ. And finally, the grand service at the Independence Square on November 2nd. Come and witness the glory of 40 years of victory. Ministering are Bishop N.A. Takiyaboy, Bishop Clement Amankwa Isehene, Bishop Elijah Saforo, and Bishop Emmanuel Akon. Wonderful Jesus Conference 2025. 40 years of grace, power, and impact. From the 12th of October to the 2nd of November. Victory Bible Church International invites you to celebrate Jesus, because Jesus is our victory.
Welcome back to Good Afternoon, Ghana. Let's now go on to the OSP situation where the Office of the Special Prosecutor is set to press charges against several individuals implicated in the controversial revenue assurance contracts between the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, and Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, SML, by the end of November 2025. Now, those expected to face prosecution include the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, current and former Commissioner Generals of the GRA, Dr. Amishadai Owusu-Amoah and Emmanuel Kofi Inti, as well as GRA officials Isaac Krensel and Kwejo Damwa. Ernest Akori, former technical advisor at the Ministry of Finance, will also be charged by the Special Prosecutor. The session follows months of investigations by OSP, which uncovered alleged acts of corruption, abuse of office, and breaches of procurement laws in the award and execution of SML GRA contracts, according to the Special Prosecutor Kisi Ajabing. Evidence gathered by his office points to criminal conduct on the part of some officials during the negotiation, approval, and implementation of the contract. So the OSP is expected to formally announce the specific charges and commence the legal proceedings in the coming weeks. And on the back of this, we have Professor Enoch Opoku-Enchi to, engage and for him to also give us his expertise, understanding of exactly what's happening. Prof, thank you for your time. You're welcome to Good Afternoon, Ghana.
Thank you very much, and greetings to all your viewers everywhere in the world.
Right. Prof, I'm sure you took your time to hear the OSP yesterday when he held the press conference.
Yes, I have.
And what were your first, analysis to what he actually said?
I think I was really depressed with the trend of events because this is not a new case. It came to the news in 2023, and if you look at the situation now that the OSP said that they are going to charge 6 individuals, so 6 cases, 2 from the GRA, 2 from customs, and 2 from politics, which is Ofori-Atta and his aide. The case has lingered for a long time, and if you look at how the contract was signed, some say it's a wiki contract, some say that it's a weird contract. To have that SML GRA contract where there's a fixed percentage of every liter of fuel that you buy, every ounce of gold that is sold in the country, all these, there's a fixed percentage. And within 5 years, they were going to get $500 million, not Ghana cedis. $500 million. That means every year they were going to get $100 million. If you look at the IMF money that we have been chasing and the tranches that were given, remember we have 300 million and Ken Ofori-Atta organized a Kenke party to celebrate that. So it's a very stinking contract. And the issue at stake here is the OSP coming to say that we are going to prosecute them next month, November. I think 21st November was the time given to prosecute them. Now, the Ghanaian court, I'm talking about the citizens, their expectations are very simple. The expectations are coming from their perception about corruption, how politicians have associated themselves with the corruption, how it is being evaluated in our system, and then how we make decisions based on that. The perception is that if the OSP have that evidence, as he is saying, then you go to court. Because the law is very categorical that every individual is presumed innocent until proved guilty. And the game of the law is evidence. So if he has that evidence, go to court, because court is the only place, the finality of it, where the accused persons can also go and produce counter documents to support what they did. Then the court would make a determination whether they are guilty or they are innocent. And then there will be a sentence. Then Ghanaians can be happy. But as it is now, if you say, I'm going to prosecute, we found the same issue with the Attorney General where, individual names have been mentioned, we have evidence of this and that. Go to court. Let's see actions, because Ghanaians want to see that if we are serious, right from 1966, that we had the first military coup, Nkrumah was accused of corruption. Any other government, including Rawlings, accused each other of corruption. And for some weird reasons, it is becoming worse from such cases as the SML and the GRA contract.
The worry people have expressed is the OSP's seeming delay on the matter. Now, if you listen to him yesterday and you check the history that we've had with the SML scandal and its investigation, it was started 2024 all the way back in January. But the OSP's, update yesterday sounded as though it was something new he was dealing with. And we've known that, at the time the SML scandal broke, the finance minister was in the country. He was the chief behind the deal following the investigation that was gathered by the Fourth Estate. And so we know that the OSP must have been updated or must have known about this all the way back in 2024.
Well, the wheel of justice, they say, grinds slowly. And you wouldn't want to say because somebody is accused of doing A or B, immediately the person is hurried to court. If you do that, then you have challenges, because the other person, anybody who is involved in corruption have a way of covering their track, because they all know that corruption is illegal. So if there's a contract that has been rejected 3 times, there is this no cabinet approval, there is no PPA approval, there's no parliament approval, all these things going on. Of course, Ofori-Atta was in town. And nobody knows why the OSP waited for that long until Ofori-Atta left the country before he made that pronouncement that he should come and face the jurisdiction. Of course, Ofori-Atta also produced health issues from his doctors that because of health issues, he cannot come. We saw from the Attorney General's office, the Deputy Attorney General saying that the OSP should give them the docket so that they will work with Interpol to bring Ofori-Atta in.
Absolutely.
It will go on record as Ofori-Atta as the only former finance minister who has refused to come back to the country to face the law of jurisdiction. So, yes, they have delayed in doing that. It's not that alone. There are a lot of low-hanging fruits of the national service issue, of the cybersecurity 7 million issue of Odubuahen, and all those cases that we've been hearing in the media. People wanted to go to court and then prosecution taking place. I would have wished that we hear all these things from the court, not politicians, because people will read political meaning into it, even though it is a genuine way of fighting against corruption in our country.
So, I mean, there's also been analysis on the OSP's demeanor yesterday during the press conference, and it didn't look like, or the analysis is pointing to the fact that he was not coming straight with something, because there's already that, perception of some grudge or beef between the OSP's office and the office of the Attorney General. The Attorney General is demanding, the dockets. The OSP is also coming across as though he has gathered enough evidence as proof of bringing down Ken Ofori-Atta. And the AG is insisting that his office is going to do that work, and so present all the necessary, information you have. Why the dilly-dallying? What exactly is happening that we don't understand, that we're missing?
You see, the way the laws were crafted for the OSP, both the Attorney General and Minister of Justice is the legal advisor to the government. Now, the OSP do not report to the Attorney General. The OSP has its own legal instrument that it deals with in the Constitution. So if the OSP is doing that, and the OSP cannot even prosecute. So if they are dealing with an issue and it is beyond them, especially Ofori-Atta's case, this is the first time we are seeing a former finance minister who is out of the country, and we want to bring him back home. And I'm tired of Ofori-Atta's lawyer saying that he's not afraid to come back home. Then he should come home. We also have hospitals here. So what kind of sickness that takes you only in America that you can't come? In July, I was in Minnesota, and I went to Rochester, where it is assumed he is. What is it that he can't come to Ghana? We have nice hospitals here. Whatever sicknesses that he's going through, of course, he can come here and then he can speak for himself, because he's a grown adult. He's a very intellectual person that he can come and speak for himself. But talking about the relationship between the OSP and the Attorney General, I think that when Sumsai, the Deputy Attorney General, came in to talk about they don't have the docket, OSP came to also explain why they don't have the docket. Because if OSP has not concluded his investigation, then further actions cannot be taken. But both the Attorney General and the OSP have been accused that instead of talking about the issues where they are, it is okay to bring the people along, that this is where we have reached in the investigation. But when you continue to do that and the people are not seeing the court making a determination, because let's say somebody has been charged with 21 counts. One of the individuals at the National Service has been charged with 21 counts. And the lady too, another, I think 15 counts. He goes to court and then they said that they are innocent, they are not guilty. So it is only at the courtroom that these individuals will also have the chance to respond to all the accusations. I'm not guilty, my lord, of all the 15 charges or the 21 charges. Then the judges are going to strike the ones that they think is not necessary. So let's say there are 21 counts, and then they strike about 20 out, and it's left with only one. What do you think the public is going to say? That you accuse this person about 21 charges, and now it is only 5 that counts. The others have been scratched away. These are some of the challenges that comes in if you come to the social media and the traditional media to talk about some of these things. Why don't we hear from the court? Because we are journalists at the court who are reporting from the court that this person has been sent to court for this. These are the determinations. This is where we are. The case has been postponed. So that when people are being jailed from the court, it will not be seen as politically motivated. Because the youth should be told to understand that anybody who comes into government to steal money, that money should have been used to build roads, to build hospitals, to build schools. So it is your future that somebody is stealing. When the youth understand it that way, then they will understand that the law should take its course. They will also appeal to the judges that, unfortunately, all over the world, it's not only in Ghana, but all over the world, we have political influence in the judiciary, and that shouldn't be the case. Justice is very important for the growth of every nation, and we should also speed up the way we adjudicate some of these issues, because if it is criminal issues and corruption, if we can fast track them to at least 1 year, then there's a determination. It will help a lot for people to see that some people are being punished, and that will serve as a deterrent to those who want to come into governance and then steal from the people.
But the Attorney General is also in the right side of the law, asking that present the budget, the docket, maybe because of the person or the personality involved. Why the difficulty for the OSP to present the docket and collaborate in whichever way it can, the office can?
Try being a lawyer, and you understand that if I have a client and then because you're a lawyer, you want to come and take that client from me and deal with the issues. It doesn't work that way. There should be collaboration and openness. So I think that it is good that you are raising this question. The OSP's office and the Attorney General's office should work together. Remember, technically, the OSP's office is not supposed to be political.
This is not.
It is supposed to be
this is not a lawyer-client relationship.
Yes, well, it is. It is because somebody started the process of prosecuting Ofori-Atta. All the dockets are with him. He has not concluded his investigation, so he cannot refer the case to the Attorney General for determination. So what the Attorney General office is saying is
yes, but Ofori-Atta is not. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but is Ofori-Atta his client, or he is prosecuting a man who is allegedly engaged in illegal activities or criminal activities?
Remember, Ofori-Atta was a public officer.
Yes.
And the office of the special prosecutor are not supposed to be prosecuting people who are in private life. He was a public officer. He started investigating his issue. He has reached a conclusion that where he was in the contract was a bad contract. We know what Manasseh Azuri and the others, the beautiful work they have done on this SML issue. Mm-hmm. So the determination of the office of the special prosecutor is that Ofori-Atta should come and face prosecution. Remember, he's still innocent until proved guilty by a competent court of jurisdiction. So if he hand over the case to the Attorney General office, he might be thinking that the Attorney General office, because the Attorney General and the deputy were appointed by a sitting government, it would take a political twist. So let me go ahead and handle this issue. But I think that the Attorney General office came in just because they wanted Ofori-Atta to be in town to face that accusation. And you can't bring somebody outside the office of the special prosecutor. The government can help do that. And that is why they have to openly work together so that they can bring Ofori-Atta in. And we should give Ofori-Atta the chance to respond to all these accusations.
Yeah, but Prof, my challenge is the Office of the Special Prosecutor is not helping matters. The Office of the Attorney General is unable to come in and collaborate in whichever means it can or whichever way it can, because it doesn't have access to whatever information having been gathered by the OSP. The Attorney General can only make moves with information gathered, even make a point as to how and why he needs the finance minister be extradited.
So I understand your frustration, but there are principles, rules, and regulations, and the law guiding the Attorney General and the one guiding the Office of the Special Prosecutor. It's just like you have two vice presidents of a university. One is for institutional advancement, the other one is for academics. There are issues that go to institutional advancement, and there are issues that go to academics. So the Office of the Special Prosecutor started this case. Remember, the Office of the Special Prosecutor do not respond to the Attorney General. That's not what the law says. So when the Office of the Special Prosecutor comes in and Kissi Agyapong says that by 21st of November, I'm going to prosecute him, it means that he has the power to do so.
Yeah.
So when he relinquishes that power to the Attorney General, in his mind, then he is not performing his duties. But I am saying, I agree with you, and I'm saying the same thing. We are all trying to open the right door with the right keys. That they should openly work together, first to bring Oforata to town, then they can begin to prosecute the case and go to court. Because until it goes to court and the court make a determination, everything that we are saying are just our thoughts. And the game there at the court is evidence. So if we have all these evidences, then what are we waiting for? Take them to court. But then the Office of the Special Prosecutor is saying that he is going to prosecute them, all these 6 individuals and the faces. So I am saying that you cannot prosecute somebody. Of course, you can prosecute somebody in absentia. It means that they can try, take Oforata's case to the trial court, even though he's not in the country. He has lawyers to represent him. And I think they should begin that process so that Ghanaians will see that they are doing something in law about the issue.
All right. Prof, I was going to let you go, but just a quick one on the just ended minority press conference on the absenteeism reports that we have gathered on Parliament and how the MPs are behaving now. It's now a situation on the majority side where most of the majority members, obviously, because of the situation they're in, are not reporting to Parliament. What comment do you have to make about it before I let you off?
You see, that issue is a very straightforward thing. The Constitution says that if you absent yourself from Parliament 15 consecutive days, you deem yourself that you forfeited your position. That's what the Constitution says. Now, if you look at the list of the 28 MPs listed who have not been going to Parliament for the first quarter, they don't have any reasons for not going to Parliament because the law also says that you can write to the Speaker and explain why you cannot come. The Speaker will grant you that clemency. Maybe you are sick or anything can happen. But now we have 10% of the MPs who are not showing up. And that's a huge number. 10% are not showing up. That is out of the 276, 28 are not showing up in Parliament. So Houston, we have a problem. And what is the problem? Somebody for 28 times have not, 22 times have not shown up in Parliament. Now, 22 times is beyond the 15, and he doesn't have any reason. What we have to do is action, action, and action, not worse. So the Speaker should take action. You've not been here more than the 15 times stated in our Constitution, so you're out. The people of your constituency should elect another person to replace you because you are not fit for this position. We also have a situation where most of them are sitting cabinet members. So you know the problem of separation of powers where some of us have been saying that if you are a member of Parliament, you don't qualify to be a minister. Why? Because of separation of powers and checks and balances in our Constitution. So now that we have the Constitutional Review Committee, they should make sure to put it in there that anybody who is a minister is not also a member of Parliament. So you can't belong to the legislature and then the executive at the same time. There's that conflict out there. So some of these cabinet ministers are not able to go to Parliament. It's understandable. Ato Forsen is one of them. Okujeto is number 3 on the list.
Yeah.
Because of the position that they hold, they are not able to go to Parliament. And because of that, the job that they are supposed to do in Parliament in making laws is suffering. Because they are putting all their energy into the executive function that they are performing. So we should fix these lapses in our Constitution. And then those who have not been attending, the Speaker should take action against them. Because you represent a bloc. If you see the names, you know, MP for Okan-Kwesap, MP for this, it means everybody from Okan-Kwesap, whether the person is EPP, MPP, NDC, you represent everybody there. And if you are not attending work to work for them, then you don't fit for that purpose. They should make sure that they take you out and put another person who is ready to work for them there.
Prof. Enoch Opoku-Nchi, thank you so much for speaking to us here on Good Afternoon, Ghana. We're grateful for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great day too. And he's governance expert and also policy analyst coming through with explanation to what is happening with the OSP and the Attorney General's office as well. And he thinks that maybe the OSP's position is a lawyer who has gathered evidence enough on a prosecution and wants to maybe follow it to the latter, which is why maybe the OSP's office is finding it difficult to hand over or handing over the whole document to another office to pursue. They just have to come together to collaborate. And also the situation with members of parliament, it's a cycle challenge that we always will talk about. Every year it comes up. Why are we pretending as if we care so much about MPs who don't come to parliament? You're also watching Good Afternoon Ghana here on Metro TV. Now, let me also remind you that it is a Pink Festival, and as I'm beautifully cladded in the T-shirt, it's Pink Festival, and that is marking the final day of us reminding you of checking the status of your breast. Okay, so as whether a man or a woman, you have an opportunity to go to the hospital. It doesn't mean that once this month ends, you're still it ends for you. You just have to do a regular check on your breast at the hospitals, various hospitals. A lot of the hospitals are available for such screening, so go there and do your screening. Metro TV currently is located at the Accra, the office or the opening of the Accra, the forefront of the Accra Metropolitan Office, and we're there organizing the Pink Festival, and we're also giving you free screening. You can go there and have an opportunity to check on your breast. Let's take a breather. When we come back, we will cross over to the Pink Festival, where my colleague Desmond Okweku Danso is also there. He'll come through with activities that's ongoing, at the area.
When the day ends, the real stories begin. Michael Ado.
Updates with lawyers for former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta.
Efua Ando. Sandra Ofosu. Ikuya Ababio. Dominic and Sopra.
We're bringing you the latest in the world of business.
Sharp, precise, compelling, unmissable, uncompromising. News Night, tonight at 7 p.m. only on Metro TV.
Some loves are born in the blink of an eye.
I've been madly in love with her since the first time I saw her. Then let's get married today.
I'll be the happiest woman in the world by your side.
And they kill your soul in a flash. Televisa presents You Are the One. Angela dreams of keeping her promise to be a great doctor and help her people. To Alvaro, ambition is stronger than his dream. And this greed will lead him to commit the worst betrayal to the woman he loves.
I will have a husband no matter what.
Samantha, will you please marry me?
Turning all her dreams into painful disappointments and dangerous consequences.
I've been waiting for you to answer my calls, Alvaro. I haven't heard anything from you. I've sent you so many messages, but you've never responded.
Have you left the bus station?
I just want to pay my debt and get out of here.
Her photographs are going to sell fast, and she will be our gold mine. Our clients will love those.
Are you looking for a boyfriend? Are you all right?
You Are the One, proudly sponsored by The Luckiest, Appointed Time Printing, Time Herbal Mixture, Samu Spices, Givers Herbal Center, Blue Jeans Energy Drink.
Welcome to Cook Africa. Straight to the Ashanti region. Hey, well, I'm talking about boy. You go back there today. Even a few days ago, you were trending. You and this character went come. We'll get there.
Ginger, the boy nako. Or the ama spices, the ama salt. We beat my chance. Or the mama money. Money they call. Debbie, welcome, go cake.
So my grandma took care of me. Okay. So she actually taught me how to do this.
Anywhere you there, I go there. Hey there.
Toastmaster is basically an individual who has placed themselves in a space where they can improve their communication and leadership skills. I began thinking of how can I make an impact, travel the whole world, and it just dawned on me, if I were an air hostess, then I could basically travel the world. So that at that little age was something that I was looking forward to.
What do you see?
My husband.
The PL Show is brought to you by Kel Charcoal, Kel 360 and Kel Kids Toothpaste.
Kel, happy smile.
When the day ends, the real stories begin. Michael Ado.
Updates with lawyers for former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta.
Efua Ando. Sandra Ofosu. Equia Ababio. Dominic and Sopra.
We're bringing you the latest in the world of business.
Sharp, precise, compelling, unmissable, uncompromising. News Night. Tonight at 7 p.m. only on Metro TV.
All right, you're welcome back to the program. It's still Good Afternoon, Ghana. Let's now bring you up to speed with the details of how the MP's absenteeism is looking like, where a member of parliamentary attendance audit disclosed that numerous members of parliament failed to attend sittings without authorized leave. Now, covering 43 sessions between January and March 2025, the findings indicate that several legislators were absent repeatedly, with some recording more than 20 unauthorized absentees. And you know, as Prof said, by the Constitution, 15 continuous absenteeism, in its conservative manner, will just, declare you null and void, or your seat null and void. And so how is the constitution being, how is it going to be kicked in? Did they have authorization that we didn't know? But because this was an audit that was conducted on this issue. And then, so the members of parliament whose names were captured in this audit includes Frimpong Joseph in Koko constituency for 22 days. Forson Castiel Atoba, and that's the finance minister. Ejumako Enyam Sian constituency 17 days. Ama Blay Nyameke, second MP, 16 days. Ablakwa Samuel Okujeto, Northtown MP, 14 days, and he is a foreign minister. Every year, Nana Yao Ayu, doctor, and he is member of parliament for Ifiduase Asokore constituency, 14 days. Boating Kwabena Ejiso, 13 days. Pelpo Rashid Hassan Abdul, also was Central, 13 days, is also minister. Enim Enes Yao Kumewu MP, 11 days. Jinapo John Abdullahi Yape Kusau constituency, 11 days. He's not. He's minister for energy. Kweku Kwati Ajiman Obuasi was 11 days. Akando Kwabna Minta Jaboso MP for 10 days. He's Minister of Health. Ampabin Shremi Simon Brekum East 10 days. Daku Mensa Kwabna Ochre Takrade MP 10 days. Ibrahim Ahmed or Ahmed Ibrahim Banda MP 10 days. Abdul Salam Abd Adams New Edubiasi MP 10 days. Aqua Alexander Akwesi Akimoda 8 days. Asamoah Vincent Opong Doma West 8 days. Ayeni Dominic Akutri Ayeni Hitu Bogatanga MP 8 days. And then we also have Godfred Henry Benthel Mpoho MP 8 days. Boakon Gideon or Gideon Boakon Tano North MP 8 days. Emmanuel Amakofi Boa Elembele MP, he goes for 8 days. Abla Jifa Gomashi, K2 South MP, she's also minister, she's absent for 8 days. Godfred Seidu, Wa East MP 8 days. Mohammed Muntaka Mubarak, Aswasi MP 8 days. Mark Kurtz, Nwanyene, Nabdam MP 8 days. Felix Kwate Ni Oakley. Botano English Amanfo MP 8 days, and also Gloria Owusu Trobu MP 8 days. Queensta Mami Pokwa Soya, Member of Parliament for Agona East 8 days, and it goes on and on. So these are the MPs who have absented themselves consecutive days from the August House. Let's take a listen to what the minority members also said.
Government of states and the business of parliament to be taken very seriously. Yesterday, the speaker had cause to point out the disturbing trend or situation of absenteeism in parliament when the business of parliament is being conducted. Today, we came to parliament, and on the count, there were only 81 members of parliament in the chamber, and therefore the deputy minority chief whip raised the issue of quorum pursuant to Article 102 of our national constitution. And indeed, the deputy chief whip made the point that we did not have quorum at the time the business of the house had commenced. The speaker went through the process, and we called this press conference to point out that the Ghanaian people went through a lot to elect us as members of parliament. So generally speaking, all of us are expected to take our duties as members of parliament seriously. And secondly, and in particular, for the first time in the fourth Republican dispensation, in the wisdom of the Ghanaian people, they elected a supermajority for this ninth parliament. The NDC majority, the NDC group in this house, constitute 189 out of the 276 members of parliament. That is a supermajority, and that is 2/3 of all the members of parliament, all the 276 members of parliament. This is unprecedented, It's never happened before in the Gulf of Tonkin installation. Indeed, it's never even happened in the whole history of our country. And one will expect that out of these 189 of them, even if 99 of them were to stay at home, they will still have the 90 members of parliament required to form a quorum to do business. And indeed, as I pointed out on the floor of parliament, they have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to do business. They have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to take decisions. They have the numbers by themselves to form a quorum to even take fundamental decisions, which requires 2/3 of all members of parliament. And as one of them once said, they can run this 9th parliament without the minority. And therefore, the question that many Ghanaians are asking, why are they not attending to the House? Why are they not taking their business as members of parliament seriously? And why are they not showing up? And why is this majority turning out to be an absentee majority? And this is why we think we should communicate to the Ghanaian people who elected these 189 members of parliament, who gave them the supermajority and 2/3, to know that we, the minority in this house, are very prepared, ready, and willing to help them conduct government business. But it will appear that they are not cooperating with the minority to get President Mohammed's business and government business to go through. And when that happens, it's the Ghanaian people who suffer. Today, on the other people, we have a litany of important bills and important items which are required to be considered and taken by the House to get government business to move forward. And yet, we have had to wait to grapple with the issue of quorum. Parliament is a very important organ of government, of state, and the business of Parliament is to be taken very seriously. Yesterday, the Speaker had cause to point out the disturbing trend or situation.
Okay, we'll now give you some excerpts of the OSP at the press conference yesterday.
In respect of measurement audit for downstream petroleum, KPMG concluded that there was reported incremental volume that is attributable to the involvement of SML determined at 1.70 billion litres for the period, which translates to incremental revenue of 2.5 billion cedis attributable to the involvement of SML. The OSP firmly disagrees with this conclusion by KPMG. Indeed, the OSP investigation shows that KPMG relied heavily on trend analysis of petroleum lifting volumes between 2018 and 2013, and not so much on the actual work done by SML, and without much consideration of the impact of the concurrent implementation of ERDMS and ICAMS during that period. These systemic upgrades surely accounted for much more accountability and records of lifting volumes. KPMG later contradicted itself in its own report by acknowledging that revenue growth in this period resulted from macroeconomic factors such as pricing and demand, and regulatory enforcement and increased taxes. In any case, the OSP investigation shows that SML's participation in downstream petroleum audit was unnecessary, and that its monthly audit reports were unreliable. As I stated, its metering system was unsuitable for the design of the pipes and operational modes at several depots. Post-KPMG audit. Following the KPMG audit, MOF, GRA, and SML acted on the KPMG recommendation of the consideration of shifting from a variable to a fixed fee structure in respect of downstream petroleum products audit. So by a memorandum of understanding signed on 1 November 2024, they changed the variable fee mechanism to a monthly fixed fee of 22,629,204 cedis 95 pesos, being, they stated, equivalent of 1,432,228 United States dollars 16 cents, inclusive of all taxes, at the prevailing Bank of Ghana exchange rate, which operated on 1st October 2024. In our estimation, the cedi version of the stated fixed monthly fee in the 1 November 2024 addendum is unnecessarily deceptive, as the party's real intention, as captured in clause 13 of the MOU itself, is a monthly fee of the stated figure in United States dollars. GRA has not paid SML since December 2024 as a result of the OSP investigation. And ladies and gentlemen of the press, action in respect of key actors. The outcome of the investigation is that the OSP will charge the following persons with various corruption and corruption-related offenses before the end of November 2025. 1. Kenneth Nanayao Oforiatta, former Minister of Finance. 2. Ernest Akori, chef de cabinet to Kenneth Nanayao Oforiatta as Minister of Finance. 3. Emmanuel Kofi-Nti, former Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. 4. Amishadai Owusu-Amoah, former Commissioner General of Ghana Revenue Authority. 5. Isaac Krenzel, former Commissioner of the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority and General Manager of Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. 6. Kwejo Damwa, former Commissioner of the Customs Division of Ghana Revenue Authority and Member of Parliament for German South constituency. As part of the process, the OSP will seek to recover the financial loss caused to the Republic from the persons listed above. Also, the OSP will recover a total amount of 125 million cedis from SML by way of a disgorgement of unjust enrichment of overpayment by the return of the benefit of this amount it obtained unfairly at the expense of the Republic. This amount was arrived on two considerations. First, the participation of SML in the public revenue assurance regime was based on largely undeserved automatic payments detached from performance. Second, the figure was adjusted on a quantum meru basis. This is a legal doctrine that developed the English common law as a form of implied contract or quasi-contract to ensure that the person who conferred a benefit on another received compensation, even when no valid contract existed. The courts introduced the doctrine as an equitable remedy to prevent unjust enrichment, recognizing that fairness sometimes required payment even without an enforceable agreement. In the present context, the OSP configured the doctrine in respect of adjusting the fair value of the investments made by SML in pursuance of performing its obligations under the various contracts, even where the contracts were procured unlawfully and even where services were minimally performed or not performed at all, on the back of SML's reasonable expectations created under the various contracts which were awarded to it by high-ranking public officials who represented ostensible authority and statutory and regulatory compliance to that private company. The investments include the setting up and maintenance of 2 offices by SML, one in Accra and the other in Tema, the hiring of employees, the payment of employees' salaries and attendant statutory payments, the acquisition of vehicles, the acquisition of and installation of ultrasonic meters and automatic tank gauges, and the procurement of a transaction value assessment system, TVAS. I have 2 very short recommendations, and I bring it down. The circumstances surrounding the enforced insertion of SML in the nation's quest for increased revenue.
All right, and that's all we have for you this afternoon on Good Afternoon Ghana. Also follow up with the News Night, as we'll bring you some more explanation to what happened at the science and math quiz that's been, going on across the country, where a lot of schools, secondary schools, are vying to, take the winning position. But there were breakouts among the schools, and there was some bloodshed, I'm sure. The News Night will bring us some details to explain to us what exactly happened. It's a learning process, so we all want to make our schools look good. We can understand, but let's do that in a peaceful environment. We'll draw the curtain here. Today is the last day of the month. Join us at the Pink Festival as we meet at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, the forecourt of Accra Metropolitan Assembly, to, give you a free education and free breast screening. You want to go there and enjoy the services. Make sure you stay out of trouble. We'll see you next week on Good Afternoon Ghana.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Some loves are born in the blink of an eye.
I've been madly in love with her since the first time I saw her. Then let's get married today.
I'll be the happiest woman in the world by your side.
And they kill your soul in a flash. Televisa presents You Are the One. Angela dreams of keeping her promise to be a great doctor and help her people. To Alvaro, ambition is stronger than his dream. And this greed will lead him to commit the worst betrayal to the woman he loves.
I will have a husband no matter what.
Samantha, will you please marry me?
Turning all her dreams into painful disappointments and dangerous consequences.
I've been waiting for you to answer my calls, Alvaro. I haven't heard anything from you. I've sent you so many messages, but you've never responded.
Have you left the bus station?
I just want to pay my debt and get out of here.
Her photographs are going to sell fast and she will be our gold mine. Our clients will love those.
Are you looking for a boyfriend? Are you all right?
You Are the One, proudly sponsored by The Luckiest, Appointed Time Printing, Time Herbal Mixture, Some Spices,